Hi, it's Dave Johal once again from Put That Boxing. Pleased to be joined by a friend of the show, Asgar Tair, as we discuss some news that came in over the weekend, which was the sad passing of Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Um, you've worked with Ricky Hatton over the years, you've known him personally as well, and also at the same time, you've shared corners with him, you've got some interesting stories, and you learned a lot from him as well. What did he mean to not just British boxing, but the sport of boxing as a whole, as a general?
Ricky Hatton, a phenomenal boxer, world champion trainer, but most of all, an incredible, generous, kind, humble guy. No matter how big he was, I think he didn't really understand how famous he was, but he was just so humble and welcoming. Um, Working with him was just an honor. Seeing how popular he was in Vegas was just incredible. He was just a great, great guy, and I think he was a people's person, and I think mostly he was a people's champ, and sadly missed by everybody.
I mean, have you got any interesting? I mean, you've got probably loads of stories. But what's the one thing if you had a standout story? What would that story be? And because we're hearing quite a few funny quotes as well when it comes to the Floyd Mayweather press conference. Um,
No,
so
when it comes to the boxing side of things, Ricky was on point, serious, but he was such a funny, witty guy. But one of the things that really stands out was when I was trying to impress some friends. Yeah, I wanted to do some business with him, and it happened to be massive Ricky Hatton fans. So I've messaged Ricky thinking, you know what, Ricky's a busy guy. Maybe he's too busy. But I'll ask him anyway. I said, Ricky, I've got some guests. I want to come over to say hello. Is that okay? He goes, my man, just bring him down, no problem. I've gone down there to Manchester. And when I said, as soon as I walked through the door, he did the pre-game salute. Asgi, my pal, are these your friends? Bring him in. Showed him around the gym, gave him gifts, gave him gloves, gave him a little session, took him for food after. He really sealed the deal for me, and it was just Ricky Hatton. This guy we used to grow up watching, and this is the guy that I'm just walked in the room with, and he just made me feel so special. My guests loved it; they appreciated it. That's Ricky Hatton, the most humblest guy you'll ever meet.
and in terms of what he did for the sport, I mean, I can't think of well. When we come to body punchers, he was a phenomenal body puncher, wasn't he? I mean, the way he used to
He was, he was,
demolish.
he was, he was a monster. Look at the guys he's fought. Look at the guys he's only lost to, and that aside, look at a man that took over 20,000 plus people to Las Vegas. That shows you the magnitude of Ricky Hatton. He was loved by everybody. You go for every walk of life. This is the guy that will bring everyone from every corner, from every faith, every ethnicity together because he was Ricky Hatton, the most likable guy you'll ever meet. And that's the great thing about him. He was massive in Vegas. We just didn't realize how big he was. Everyone knew who Ricky Hatton was. And this was just before Tyson Fury was going to explode in America. Ricky was already established there. It was on the WWE. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He took 20,000 plus people to Vegas. It was huge.
And what kind of advice did he give you as a trainer from the trainer side and from a coach? Because you guys were in
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Tyson
Well,
Fury and all sorts. So what kind of
one
advice
of the,
did he
one,
give you
one of the
personally?
things he, one of the things he always told me was, do it and do it your way. Because you're always going to get people giving you advice. Smile and agree with them. Even though you know they're full of shit, just agree with them. Smile. That's the best thing with it because you can always get people who think they know better. Just get on with it. I spent a lot of time talking about his amateur days, and he goes, "Look, the main thing with the boxers is to make sure they're enjoying it." He goes, "For me, I loved it as an amateur. I used to love coming back from fights. Me and my dad would have a beer, would have chips, and that all changed as it got along. It was a business, it was a family. He goes, make sure the boxers appreciate those around him. When it comes about business, they're coming to the end of their career. He goes, to make sure they're enjoying it, make sure everyone's happy. He goes, ask them how they are in that. It was brilliant. It was pretty emotional talk we had. Some very real deep conversations, obviously I can't talk about, but it was just so deep, such a great, great guy.
I mean, Do you think that's how people remember him, which is, a gent inside the ring and a killer outside the ring and a killer inside the ring?
Absolutely a monster. A great champion in the ring, a great champion out the ring, a great champion trainer. Now, he told me his proudest moment was seeing his son become a father and him becoming a grandfather. It was clear that this man was family oriented and all he wanted was happiness with his family. That's what he wanted. He wanted what he lost with his parents because it became about the business. One of the things he told me was why he used to train his nephew and his brother would train his son because they never wanted to destroy that father-son relationship, which he felt destroyed his relationship with his father and his mother because it was always about boxing and money. It was never how's your day. It was never about, let's do this as father and son. It was business, money, money, money. So that if you notice how Matthew would train his son and he would train his nephew.
And just very finally as well, I know we used to play Fight Night, should we just say, yeah, back in the day on the PlayStation 2. Yeah. Was he one of the ones that you used to gravitate? And is it surreal that you used to play with him as a character and then you working with him? Was that surreal?
It was unbelievably. It was walking into the gym and there's Ricky Hatton. You expected a superstar. Remember, we've got boxers who not even won area titles. They go on like celebrities. This is a man that's conquered the world. That's got everything. And he was so welcoming, so humble, so funny. He's just such a great guy. I remember messaging him recently and asking him about his fight. I go, Ricky, is this real? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm just getting in shape. He goes, pop down. I said, I will. That's Ricky Hatton for you. It was unreal that this guy, if you look at the videos, I realize this guy's been everywhere. You name it, he's been on it. But he was so humble. Even to people like I was talking to Fraser Clark the other day. He was telling me about his relationship with Ricky, and he was saying, look, how Ricky knew him and how Ricky, from when Fraser was 16, was the same guy that when Fraser obviously turns into a star. And he goes, same guy, same humbleness. We're always there to give you advice. Great guy.
And he is sorely going to be missed. Asgi,
Sadly missed.
we are going to wrap things up, but listen, let's catch up properly over this and obviously talk about some of your prospects as well coming up. But thanks for your time today. And no doubt we'll catch up soon, mate.
Thanks for having me on. Take care, Dave.